The train to the afterlife is one of the most popular urban legends in modern Japan. It's been adapted into an anime film, several video games, numerous manga chapters, novels, radio dramas, live-action films, and even had a theme park ride based on it. But despite all these adaptations, the original story was never written down until now. So let me tell you about the scariest train that will never reach its final destination. It's 1 a.m. on a Friday night, and you re-riding the late-night subway home from a night out with friends. The train is nearly empty, with only a few other passengers who are either drunk or asleep. As the train rumbles along the tracks, you hear a loud screech as it comes to a sudden halt. The lights flicker and go out, plunging you into total darkness. You can hear other passengers stir from their seats, confused by what just happened. Then you notice the doors at the end of the car haven't opened for the stop. When the lights come back on, you look around to realize you're not at the station you just passed. And when you check your phone, you see it says 1:37 a.m. You've lost 17 minutes of time with no explanation. Then, from the speakers, an automated voice announces this train is currently out of service due to system maintenance. Passengers are asked to remain seated and follow instructions from the staff. Before long, other announcements come over the intercom, but none of them make any sense. They re-talking about transferring trains at stations that don't exist, or arriving at a terminal station that does match the one you entered at. Everyone on the train starts to panic, but the train keeps moving forward into the darkness. Suddenly, the doors open and a man in a suit steps inside. He's holding a briefcase and looks like he's just arrived from work. He ignores everyone and goes to the other end of the train, then pulls something out of his briefcase and throws it at the floor. It's a small wooden box with Chinese characters written on it. Then he opens up a newspaper and starts reading. Everyone on the train stares at him, wondering why he's so calm while they're freaking out. One passenger asks, "Hey, what's in that box? What are you doing?" The man in the suit looks up from his newspaper and replies, "That box is my ticket to the afterlife, and I'm going to throw away my life right here." He then takes a deep breath, stands up, and slowly begins to levitate. His feet leave the ground, and he rises higher and higher until he's floating above the train. He continues, "I've thought about this a lot. I want to die on a train so that I could become one with the tracks. I'd rather be reincarnated as a plant growing between the rails than be reborn into another life on this earth." The man then takes out a knife and cuts his wrists. Blood pours out of the wounds, and he lets out a smile as he finally gets his wish and dies right there on the train. The passengers are shocked and horrified by what they just saw. One woman faints while others scream bloody murder. But before anyone can do anything, the train makes another screeching sound and comes to a halt. The doors open and two men in black suits step inside. They ignore everyone and start looking around the train. They find the dead man and his box, then take them off the train. They also notice the blood and clean it up with a strange black substance that seems to absorb the crimson liquid instantly. Once everything is cleaned up, the men in black announce to the passengers that due to a system error, the train has reached its final destination and they should disembark immediately. Everyone runs for the doors, except for one man who stops in his tracks when he notices the box is left behind. He picks it up, opens it, and finds a small electronic device inside. He looks up to ask a question, but everyone else has already left the train. The man feels a tap on his shoulder and turns around to see one of the men in black. He asks, "Was there anything in that box that caught your eye? Anything at all?" The man shakes his head. "No, nothing really. Can I take this box with me?" The man in black smiles. "Oh, no, no, no. That box cannot leave this train. Do you understand?" The man hesitates, but he knows he won't be able to keep the box if he argues. As he's leaving the train, he sees the second man in black standing on the platform waving to him. He turns back to the man in black, but he's already gone. The man quickly walks off the train and joins everyone else outside. Now that he's away from the train, he tries calling out to the man in black, but his voice sounds distorted and weak. People stare at him as if he's crazy. Suddenly, he hears a loud screeching sound and turns around to see the train disappearing into the tunnel. The last thing he sees is the man in black waving at him from inside the train. The next day, newspapers report that a train derailed during the night, killing 2 people on board. Their bodies were mangled beyond recognition, but authorities did find a strange box on the train. They couldn't identify what was inside because it was wrapped in a black cloth. However, when they went to remove the cloth, it mysteriously disappeared. After hearing the news, the man who took the box home throws it away. He thinks he might have imagined the entire incident, but then he looks down at his hands and sees they recovered in cuts and bruises, as if he'd been holding onto something sharp. To this day, he still wonders what was inside the box and how he managed to survive the accident. Maybe the man in the suit wanted to die and become one with the train tracks, but the conductor wouldn't let him do it. Maybe the man who took the box home didn't imagine the whole thing after all. Maybe the real reason the train screeched to a halt was because it crashed into a wall. Maybe the reason there were only 3 passengers on the train was because it was untraveling through space and time, but rather through dimensions. In Japanese folklore, there's a train that travels between the world of the living and the world of the dead. It's called the Galaxy Express, and it's similar to the train you boarded on that fateful night. In order to ride the Galaxy Express, you must get on it after midnight. The train consists of several cars, each with a different theme. Some are normal and peaceful, while others are filled with violence, death, and suffering. Each car represents a different level of hell in Buddhist teachings. At first, you think you're entering the train station, but you're actually entering a different dimension. The stations you pass by aren't real, and the people waiting for the train aren't alive. The only way to get off the Galaxy Express is by reaching the final car. If you decide to stay on the train longer than intended, you might be trapped forever. Some say the train has stopped running since 1968, but others say it's still out there searching for new passengers. How many times have you boarded the wrong train and ended up in the wrong place? Share your experiences in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like before you go. Subscribe to the channel for more scary stories, and have a good one.